Hi, my name is Asiimwe Deborah Kawe. I am the Producing Artistic Director of Tebere Arts Foundation, which is the organization that produces, curates, presents the Kampala International Theatre Festival. So this sexual harassment in the performing arts spaces has been something that's been on my mind for some time. In fact, we had wanted to organize it in 2019, just before COVID. But at that time I was expecting, so I didn't have enough time and energy to do that. And it came about as a result of something that 3 of our emerging artists came and told me. So we have an emerging artists program where we bring in young people for a full year and we train them in different art forms, specifically theater though. And 3 of them came up to me and said that there was a mentor in our space that was a sexual predator. And we started Tebere to create a safe space for artists. And so to us, it was a shock to realize that the space we had created to be safe was actually not safe. And this was someone that we all knew, who was our friend. And so that was really shocking to me. I didn't know. I had been in this industry for such a long time, but I had never had any story about this person. And so I realized that there was a lot of silence around this subject in the arts. And so we started thinking about the best way to start having this kind of conversation, but also to let artists know that it's okay to talk about these things and to equip them, give them tools on how they can begin to talk about them. So that was the reason why we started this, and the objectives is for people to know, artists to know that they are spaces that are willing to have this conversation. The beginning has never been easy because this is a subject that is viewed as taboo culturally. So even bringing it into art spaces, especially something that has been normalized, it's not going to be easy, but we are happy to start, and importantly to let artists know that it's okay for us to talk about this subject. We hope that once we have created this policy paper, any organization, any production house, any artist who is interested and willing to access it will have it. And maybe we can use that to be able to create policies in our different production houses. So hopefully that can then be a step for artists to use should they find themselves in situations that are uncomfortable, that are abusive, and then hopefully they can get justice that they deserve. Our long-term strategy is to create a space and a situation where when victims talk about what they have gone through, they are believed, okay? And they are not, the society does not victimize them the more, and our own sector does not victimize them the more. The other one is for them to be able to have agency and empowerment to speak up, to talk about what they have experienced within the spaces where they have experienced, and also to feel like they can be safe to talk about these things. And I think having like a sexual harassment policy in place in production houses would be helpful. And it's something that I think we should even push at the ministry level to have a policy in place for production houses so that when artists are abused, there's something we can refer to, because our sector is very fluid, as you know. Like right now we are at work, but no one would, for example, term what we are doing right now as work. You know, when we think about work, we think about offices, we think about desks and chairs. But if we are in the bush shooting a movie and sexual harassment happens, it's not something that people are going to like really take seriously, because after all, also our work, when we are acting, some of the scenes maybe the rest of the society may not understand, you know. So when something happens, when I'm on stage or backstage or on a film shoot, and somehow people can easily think, oh, but that is like a continuation of what you have just been doing in front of the camera or what you have just been doing on stage. So we need a policy that really understands our industry and our nature of work, and to get into people's consciousness that the kind of work that we do is work. You know, it's not informal sector, it's not whatever, it's work, and therefore we need to be protected when we are doing this work. I thought I knew our sector well, relatively well, but there are things that have been shared in this workshop that I'm still trying to internalize. The abuse that is in our sector is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, and the different levels of abuse. I'm not saying that I've come out disempowered or discouraged. It has energized me to know that this work that we are doing is very important.